about, a year and change ago when kind of 2.0 was first starting to launch, and you took the reins, while Triple H was recovering and getting his health on track, that you had those big shoes to fill, and you talked about those big shoes, and I couldn't help but think, I wonder if, especially now, Triple H has some sense of satisfaction because of the fact that he had to take over DX after you. Now you have to take over for my shoes.
No, well, I don't. I guess those are things we don't ever. I don't know. We don't ever think about. I don't think so. I don't know. I'll say this because, and he'd probably not. Happy I would tell people this, but he's. Even he's finally softened up a little bit. He's not as emotional and as soft as I am. But I think having. Come back and stepping into the role that he's in now, he's very appreciative and thankful. And now we are just, I don't know, there's not really any one-upmanship. It's like, again, but we're back together again and having the opportunity to, to give back to this business that, has given us so much and invest in the future. And obviously him, continue to build and make the WWE even bigger and better than it is and what it's become. So that's, that's kind of the exciting part, honestly. Because everything else now it's more about a friendship, again, that has lasted so long and been through a lot, just knowing that, it doesn't matter, hell or high water. We have each other's back in any situation. Whatever he needs, I drop everything and do it. And I know he'd do the same. So I think, again, it may not be as, as fun and as amusing as it once was. Look, he'll still rip me from one side to the other. Because I am, the softer of the two of us, but he's gotten a little bit more reflective as well. He just wouldn't show it in front of anybody.
Yeah. The relationship that you guys have is incredible, and it's even more mind blowing to me to think that how close that you guys got as early as you did. When you talk about some of the stories that you've talked about backstage and the meetings, the very sort of what sound like very closed door meetings that you would have with Vince, trying to figure out where are we going with this, where are we going with that, and inevitably Triple H is in those stories, and Triple H is by your side, and it's for a guy that came into the WWE in 1995 to find himself by 1997 to be in this position where you guys kind of value each other so much that he's even there by your side in those moments that early is pretty remarkable, no?
It is, no, and that's something, and I understand that people probably don't. It's hard for them to see it now because he's, the head guy, and he's had such a position of influence over, the last decade. But it was really tough on him early on. And again, it was again, at least arguably at that time, I was the man, and he was the one, again, sort of hoping to be in there, but then things could get and would get very serious, and I'm sure there were a lot of times that he would just I wish I wasn't in here for this particular moment and what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
But he stuck by me, and I think he also, I don't know, I think it helped him. You can have an opinion. You know what I mean? And granted, I will. I probably didn't share it correctly when I was younger, but you're allowed to have an opinion. Again, we can respectfully disagree, and as the boss, you can tell me what to do, and I will absolutely do it. But when you've opened the door to me to allow me to share my opinion, I'm going to give it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it without remorse. So again, I guess I always think that there were a lot of times I think he was in there in a tough spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if he didn't know what to do, he stood there, boom, steadfast by my side. And look, I wouldn't blame him if after I left, he looked at Vince and went like, "No, I don't care what he said. I'm down for whatever you need." But that guy's crazy. So, but honestly, again, and that's the thing. That's why, again, he needs something. I would. I drop everything and I'd be there. Simply because, again, he didn't have to say anything. Just his presence showed that he was, because he was in a lot of tough situations just by virtue of the fact that he was standing next to me.